My son lost his first tooth last week. Bottom front. Wiggled for days. Finally popped out while eating an apple. He was so proud. We put it in a little bag. Under his pillow. The tooth fairy tradition. The next morning, he woke up screaming. Not scared. Happy. She came. She left me something. He held up a coin. Old. Gold. Not currency I recognized. And a note. Handwritten. Tiny letters. Thank you for the tooth. It's perfect. I've been looking for one like this for a long time. I'll be back for the others. I assumed my wife wrote it. She assumed I did. We laughed about it. A cute prank. But the coin was real gold. We had it appraised. Worth about $400. No markings. No mint date. The jeweler said it looked handmade. That night, I checked on my son before bed. He was already asleep. His mouth was slightly open. I counted his teeth. Just to be sure. One missing. The one he lost. Everything normal. Then I saw something on his windowsill. A small box. Wrapped in brown paper. Tied with string. I opened it. Inside, a tiny glass jar. Inside the jar, a tooth. Not my son's. Larger. An adult tooth. And another note. I've been collecting for 70 years. Children's teeth are best. They still have the memory inside. This one belonged to a man who hurt people. You can have it back. I took what I needed from it. I checked my son's room. Nothing else disturbed. The window was locked from the inside. No footprints. No dirt. I checked the front door. Locked. The back door. Locked. No sign of entry anywhere. The tooth in the jar had a filling. Old. Silver. Stained. My wife called the police. They took the note. The coin. The tooth. They said it was probably a neighbor. Harmless. That night, I stayed up. Sat in the hallway. Watched my son's door. At 3:07 a.m., the hallway light flickered. Once. Twice. Then went out. I heard breathing. Not mine. Coming from inside his room. I rushed in. Nothing. The window was still locked. My son was still asleep. But on his pillow, a new note. You waited up. That's sweet. Most parents don't notice. Don't worry. I only take what's given. Sweet dreams. I didn't sleep. At sunrise, I checked my son's mouth. Still all there. Nothing missing. The next night, I set up a camera in his room. Motion activated. Night vision. At 3:07 a.m., it triggered. I watched the footage live from my phone. My son's door opened. Slowly. No one there. Then a shadow. Low. Small. Like a child crawling. It moved to his bed. Paused. Then his mouth opened. Just slightly. As if someone was gently pulling his lip down. The shadow leaned closer. Inspecting. Then withdrew. The door closed. The hallway light flickered back on. I ran to his room. He was still asleep. His mouth was closed. Peaceful. But one of his baby teeth was missing. One that wasn't loose yesterday. There was no pain. No blood. No sign of extraction. Just a clean gap where a tooth used to be. I checked the camera again. Froze the frame where the shadow was closest. Not a child. Not exactly. The shape was wrong. Proportion like an adult but small. Bent. As if something had been folded into a smaller body. I showed the footage to the police. They were baffled. No visible face. No entry point. No explanation. One detective pulled me aside. Has anyone else in your family experienced this? Going back generations? Why? I've seen one other case like this. 1997, the same details. The same notes. The same gold coins. Who was the family? Your mother's side. Before she married your father. She had a sister. Your aunt. She reported someone taking her children's teeth. The same handwriting. The same coins. The case went cold. She moved. Changed names. Never spoke of it again. I called my mother. Asked about her sister. She went silent. I haven't spoken to Elaine in 20 years. Why not? Because she wasn't taking her children's teeth. She was buying them. From other families. Collecting them. She had jars. Hundreds of them. She said she was feeding something. Keeping it away from her own children. Paying it to leave them alone. Feeding what? She never said. She just told me to stop losing teeth. Told me to keep mine. Forever. I found Elaine. She lives in a small town. 4 hours away. She agreed to meet. Her house was cluttered. Dark. It smelled like dust and old paper. On every shelf, glass jars. Filled with teeth. Thousands of them. It started with my grandmother, she said. Then my mother. Then me. It passes down. The debt. The agreement. 1 tooth per child. Paid to the collector. In exchange, the children live. What is the collector? I don't know. Something old. Something that feeds on memories stored in bone. Baby teeth carry the most. They're fresh. Full of firsts. First word. First step. First fear. It chooses 1 family per generation. 1 child. Then it never leaves. Your son was chosen. The coin was the first payment. The tooth it left was from someone else. Someone who didn't pay. That tooth was a warning. I asked where it came from. She pointed to a jar on the highest shelf. Different from the others. Sealed with wax. That was my first payment. When I was 6. The tooth it gave me belonged to a man who disappeared in 1953. He refused to give up his child's tooth. So the collector took all of them. All at once. What happened to the child? The child was fine. The collector only takes what's offered. But if you refuse, it takes everything. Every tooth. Every memory. Every trace. The man just vanished. No record. No body. No name. As if he never existed. I drove home. Checked on my son. Counted his teeth. All present. But under his pillow, another coin. New. Gold. And a note. He's perfect. Thank you for sharing him. I'll visit once a year. The same tooth. The same date. Never more than 1. Never less. You don't have to do anything. Just let him sleep through it. He won't remember. They never remember. I called my aunt. How do I stop it? You can't. But you can redirect it. It needs a family line. It needs a child. It doesn't care which one. Someone has to carry the debt. You can pass it on. To who? She was quiet for a long time. To someone who deserves it. I found him. It took me 3 weeks. His name is Henry. Lives 2 states away. He was arrested twice. Never convicted. 4 children. All of them with unexplained dental trauma. Gaps where healthy teeth used to be. He hurt them. The courts couldn't prove it. But everyone knew. I mailed him a letter. Handwritten. I enclosed a small bag. Inside, one of my son's baby teeth. The one the collector took. And instructions. Put this under your pillow. Say the words, I offer in their place. It will come. It will accept. The debt will transfer. My son will be free. Your children will be free. You will carry it instead. He replied 3 days later. 1 word. Done. That night, I watched from outside Henry's house. Through a window. At 3:07 a.m., the lights flickered. Then went out. Not just the house. The whole street. The whole neighborhood. When they came back on, Henry was standing in his front yard. His mouth was open. Screaming silently. All his teeth were gone. Every single one. Lying in the grass around his feet like white pebbles. The collector had accepted the deal. But it took more than one tooth. It took everything he had. Every memory. Every trace. Every tooth he'd ever used to smile at his victims. He didn't disappear. But he never spoke again. Never ate solid food. Never smiled. My son is 6 now. All his adult teeth are coming in. Perfect. Straight. He doesn't remember the night visits. Doesn't remember the coins. Doesn't remember the shadow by his bed. But last week, he lost another tooth. Brought it home from school. Excited. Wanted to put it under his pillow. I told him no. I told him we don't do that anymore. He cried. He didn't understand. That night, I heard the breathing outside his door. Felt the lights flicker. Saw the shadow pause at the threshold. Then it moved toward my room instead. I felt a cold hand on my jaw. A gentle tug. And something warm in my mouth where a tooth used to be. I woke up with a gap. A molar. Left side. No pain. No blood. On my nightstand, a gold coin. And a note. The debt passed. You took it willingly. The child is free. You are not. You owe 1 tooth per year. The same date. The same time. For the rest of your life. Miss a payment, and I'll take them all. Welcome to the family tradition. Your aunt sends her regards. I counted my teeth. 31 left. 31 years of payments. I'll be old. Maybe dead before it finishes. But my son is safe. My son will never wake up with a missing tooth he doesn't remember losing. My son will never know the collector's name. It's been a year. I've made 2 payments. 2 molars. 2 coins. 2 notes. The collector is gentle. Almost kind. It leaves herbs in a jar. Something to numb the gap. Something to help me sleep. Last week, I got a letter from my aunt. Her handwriting. Shaky with age. I'm dying. Cancer. 3 months left. When I go, the collector will need a new matriarch. Someone to keep the records. Someone to track the debts. Someone to speak for it when it cannot speak. I want it to be you. I haven't replied yet. But my son turned 7 today. He smiled at me with all his teeth. Perfect. Straight. Free. And I realized I'd do anything to keep it that way. I'm writing this from my aunt's house. She passed last week. Her jars line my shelves now. Her notes fill my drawers. The collector came to me that night. Not for a tooth. To talk. It doesn't look like a shadow anymore. Not to me. Now that I'm the keeper, I see it clearly. Small. Bent. Ancient. Eyes like old coins. It speaks with my aunt's voice. Tells me who owes. Who paid. Who's in arrears. There are others. Dozens of families. Spread across the country. Each with a child. Each with a debt. Each with a collector of their own. We're a network. A hidden economy of enamel and memory. I know how this sounds. You're thinking it's fiction. A story. Something to forget before bed. But if you ever find a coin under your child's pillow. Gold. Handmade. No date. No mint. If you ever find a note thanking you for a tooth you didn't know was missing. Don't ignore it. Don't throw it away. Because the collector chose your family. The debt is already yours. The only question is who pays it. You. Or someone you love. Choose wisely. The tooth is already under the pillow. It always has been.